Hey guys, Christina here, and today I have a look for you and a review of this course here, Canadian Civics Complete Course. This is by Mike Zietsma, I hope I'm saying that right, from Creating History. It is a Christian course. So I'm going to turn the camera around and give you a look at it, and then I'll come back and share my thoughts on it as my son in grade 9 recently completed it. Here's what the textbook looks like. It's just a soft cover. It's only about 130 pages. It's quite short. Starts out with a welcome message. It just says the purpose, which is to gain a stronger understanding and appreciation for how our country functions and the important role that Christians play. It breaks down the activities package, the unit guide, the required resources. So there isn't like a physical textbook that goes with this. There's an e-booklet as well as some online stuff I'll show you in a minute, and a number of free websites. So over here, there is that digital resource. I've just covered up the information here just for privacy, but you do need to contact them and fill out a form to get access to a Google Drive folder. On the Google Drive folder, I will show you in a minute exactly what comes with it after I'm done showing you the book. So course organization. There's the introduction, the units, exam resources. I'll just give you kind of a quick little information here. Terms of use, it's always important, especially with homeschool material, to know the terms of use. This course does not let you sell or redistribute to another family. That means that you can't copy this, you can't resell it, you can't pass anything on. It's important to know that. The technology requirements for it. There's also the interactive Google quizzes, and it shows you how to access those. So here's the course summary. It gives you an idea of how many hours and the evaluation and how that will work. Now I didn't fill this out, but this is how you fill out to determine the final mark. And this is an example of the first unit. So purposeful citizenship, ideologies, government, citizenship, democracy. So you can see the unit goals, the organization of the unit themes, unit guide, additional notes, unit resources, and suggested unit resources. So here's kind of a checklist, and it breaks it all down. And I'll go more into this in a minute. And then here is Lost Island scenario. So I'm just going to quickly flip through so you can kind of see what it looks like. So you can see there's lots of writing, and there is note taking as well. And you probably noticed that my child hasn't done every part of it, and I'll explain a little more in a minute about that and why. But that's what the book looks like, and now I'll show you what comes with it for the online portion. Once you have filled the form out and you have received the way to connect to the Google Drive, these documents, this is everything that you get. So there is an introduction. It goes over the same welcome message. There is information on how to access narrated lectures if you would prefer that, as well as there's a PowerPoint here about just how to rate or to evaluate and grade your student, which is helpful. This is the final exam. It has both the test as well as the answer keys here. This is the ebook that they use at different parts of the course. It's quite short, but that's kind of what it looks like. I'll give you an idea of what each unit looks like. So up here are the answer keys, homeschool group games, and these are the PowerPoints. Then there's access to that book again. This is something you can do with your student. It's the evaluation part, a conversation. So there's different points, different things to talk about, to bring out, as well as filling a few more things in. And each unit is similar to this. I'll give you a quick look. Just like this. The third one, oh, and I should mention this one has a test. So here is the test, and the answer key is up here. The third one is a lot shorter. That's all that's in there. So that's a look at everything that comes on the Google Drive with the course as part of the course. So like I said, my son who is in grade 9 recently completed the course. He's 14. It is recommended for grades 9 to 12, so definitely the high school years. I purchased the book through donnaward.ca, the website. I think it was just over $100, so it is on the pricier side. Now, I've kind of shared this before, but I'm a little disappointed when homeschool material is created in such a fashion that it can't be reused or resold. And I understand why authors and creators do this. They put a lot of time and money into their curriculum. But I feel like if it's being created for homeschoolers and homeschool community, they kind of need to think that through and have things that can be used for the second, the third child, or lent to this cousin or sold to this family. So right now, if I wanted to have my next child use this book is consumable. So I would have to buy this book, this portion again. I think it was about $35 in order for my next child to use it when we've already invested over $100. So that's my thoughts on that. Always a little disappointed about that. My initial reaction when I received this and I started to look through it was, I am so confused. I don't know if it's just because I'm not a super analytical type. I'm more of a visual person, or if, I don't know, I had a really hard time understanding the way this was set up and what was my son was supposed to do, what I was supposed to do, and kind of following through. My son had a similar reaction. He was confused and he kind of found it overwhelming at times, trying to figure out, well, how do I do this? I think we are more used to having curriculum that's broken down by day or by week, or that I can break down easily. This I could not break down easily because it's based on hours and projects. And so I just kind of told my son, work on it every week, try and get a certain amount done every week. And that's what he did. And let's see, it took September, we moved October, November, so we really didn't do it. So December, January, and February, and March. So it took 5 months. And I think that's probably pretty average. I think you could probably do it in 4 months, maybe even a little sooner. But he was a little confused too, and I'm not sure if that's just because he's on the younger age of that 9 to 12, although granted, I have a university education and I found it confusing. He's also not super into this topic. You know, civics is just not his favorite topic, and so he wasn't totally invested in it with, that's fine, you know, nothing about the creator there, the author. I think it's interesting how it merges some Christian views and being a Christian in Canada with government, because sometimes it's very hard to kind of put those two together. There were some activities in here. I know we ran into one where he was supposed to read something on a website, but you had to pay to access that website. So I actually contacted the author and he sent the article to me for my son to read. So that was one little issue we had. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, some of them, like one was based on like a Twitter account, Twitter activity, and my son doesn't use Twitter. I don't use Twitter. So I had to kind of explain the concept of it, and he was a little confused. So it is definitely an online course because they are using the PowerPoint plus the book plus online resources. And yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure if I would use this again with my next children just because the layout and the cost of it for each child, but I'm not sure what else is out there. So let me know if you have any other high school civics Canadian courses that have worked for you. I would love to hear about them. If you have any questions for me about this course, I'll answer them, or I'll try to answer them for you. And any other questions as well in comments. As always, I try and answer every question or comment I get. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Good information, good for a child to learn about government and about civics, but a little bit difficult in the way it's presented is kind of how I would boil it down. So hopefully that's given you some information to help you make a decision if this is something that would work for your family or not. And I hope, as always, this finds you having a great day. Take care.